Hello everyone! It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, don't you worry, that time has not been wasted. I have for a while now felt that this world was, what can you say, incomplete. Which makes sense, of course, you can't ever really complete it. But I felt like there was just a lot of things that kind of bugged me. The story system was not ideal and a lot of other small things that I'll get to. So, I've been spending a lot of time off camera trying to fix up a lot of these things. This is our new storage system. It uses the standard Impulse SV item filters with overflow protection to sort out a lot of the standard items. And over here we'll switch to multi-item sorters whenever it reaches this point. And there we're able to sort for individual items based on the chests. And as you can see here, we for example have the redstone chest and so on. A lot of this is still work in progress, but I am way more happy with this than I was with the other. Another thing I overhauled was our nether hub. See, before we had these ice roads that we could get a boat from here, then we could place it on the ice and go wherever we needed to. And it worked somewhat well. The problem was that, especially with this track that went all the way back to our spawn, I just felt that way too often, because of all the breaks I had to do because of all the side roads, it just took long. I just ended up flying instead. I very often just end up going down here and then fly this way all the way back because it was just faster. So this has been overhauled now. So instead, what we'll do. How did you get here? So instead, what we'll do is we'll step on this, and then we'll take a minecart to where we need to go. And when we come back, this will automatically get destroyed and go here. This has been separated, like you can see. So, oh wait, I don't have any signs here, but so this will go to the villager trading hall. This will go to the witch farm, and so on. A lot of these are still missing. One of them we have that is not that ideal currently is the map museum one, because that one goes to there and then so it has one of these stops again, and that's not great. But we'll fix that at some point. Another thing I did was to create a raid farm. That's also the reason why I can have these totems of undying. This is a complete copy of the one designed by Raceworks, and it works quite well. And I made it here because if you look over here, there is a, what are these called? Pillager outpost? An outpost, I think at least. Yeah, and I didn't really feel like making a video on this because I literally just copied it one-to-one, so I did not really see any attainable value in that. Similarly, I created a pillager. Oh, what do they call it now? A piglin trading hall. So we're able to get the trades from them, and I felt like so many people made videos about these trading halls. I didn't really feel like I could contribute anything new to that. So yeah, I decided not to make a video about this either. And lastly, I've tried to implement something right here. As you can see, I've been placing sand, and I'm trying to just kind of experiment with adding some details and doing some different things in order to get this looking somewhat good. And try to maybe add a few more buildings over here. A lot of this is temporary, but I think that this area is what we are going to focus on today, because this island is one of the main things that I actually personally want to look a bit more finished. But enough talking, let's start making something. As you probably saw in the last clip, we have this building right here, which I very like the design of actually. I had to figure out the rest of it, but that's not now. However, this bridge I was very much not satisfied with, so I've been trying to implement this bridge instead, which just kind of fits in better. And I'm using this trick of using the new campfires and turning the fire off, so it kind of looks like, well, planks in a way. Yeah, I think planks is the correct word to use. And I think it looks really great. As well as that, I think that we should probably add some more automatic honey farms around here. And oh yeah, I began on this kind of building here, which I think looks somewhat decent. Might extend this. Actually, scrap that. Instead, I think we're gonna try to go with something like this. So, my idea here is to have like a dock. Maybe with ships over here, that could be kind of cool. But the main idea I want to go for is that there are multiple houses connected here, kind of in a, what can I say, random, a bit of chaotic pattern. And on the outside, they have to seem like individual houses, but on the inside, they are connected, and then we can keep a bee farm in there. But I must admit that I am kind of struggling with figuring out a design. So, like right here, we are gonna have 2 houses, and I've tried to mark this using 2 different kinds of wood. And on this one, we have the fundament being kind of out of stone bricks, and I've tried to add a bit of detail. I'll probably do a bit more later. But now we have to figure out how to do with the inside of this one. Generally speaking, I like having sort of a border and something inside of it, just 1 block, because that creates this 3-dimensional effect. So if you look at it from like this angle, it just kind of gives it some more detail. But I think I need to go with another material. I am considering using sandstone because that would fit in with the whole desert biome theme. However, like the regular sandstones, these lines, right, they just completely destroy the look of it. So the only thing we really can use is smooth sandstone, and we're not really able to do any variation. It's just the same texture. I can try it, but yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan. I'm considering using bricks instead. I feel like this would fit quite nicely. The only thing is that bricks are very expensive, so I would need a stonemason if I should do that. And even though our villager trading hall actually is quite decent, it does not have a stonemason. And there's also like a lot of things that I've noticed about it now using it for a while that is kind of lacking. For example, when I have to do the rotten flesh trade, I have to go to these guys. I only have these 3 currently. And I can trade with them and everything, but it takes a lot of time. These were filled with rotten flesh before. And I would honestly just love to have a lot of them clustered together in one place. So I might do some way, maybe make a new villager breeder on the nether roof, for example. That could be a future project. And then use kind of a network to transport them. That could actually be kind of interesting. Because the villager breeder we have currently is extremely slow, and I'm not really sure why. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait here in my AFK spot for a stonemason. And sometime later, we got him. As you can see right here. And we got some bricks now. So let's get back to the build. Yeah, I experienced with a few more colors these, trying to put some granite and some polished granite inside, and I think this looks quite great actually. At least more interesting than the sandstone. So yeah, I'll try a bit more. Yeah, this is starting to come together. Tried adding in some detail here, trying to again use the different textures, and using these campfires again. They actually do work quite well as a sort of bridge. That's like as you will see in the docks. The problem now is that I have to create the roofs, and if you look around you can see that roofs is one of the things that I'm just really bad at making. Yeah, I need to find a better solution than this. No. Even though this doesn't really look like a lot of work, it has actually taken me multiple days to make so far. I've just been completely out of creativity, and it sort of frustrates me because I'm already borrowing a lot of elements from other people's work, and I'm not satisfied with it at its current state. So I think I have to do something else. Okay, so let's try a different approach. Instead of trying to build the house from the ground up like we have right here, let's try to do it in another way. Because when doing it from the ground up like this, the perfectionist in me kind of want everything to be extremely correct from the beginning. That's why I'm literally placing 1 block at a time and replacing it and replacing it. And when it comes to most things, having a set of rules generally helps with that. So maybe we should try and create what we want to be inside of it first, and then adapt a building to fit around it. That could be a way of going around this. That might mean that it won't be completely ideal as I desire it, but it should hopefully mean that setting it up would be easier. Alright, so let's consider what we want. We want to create a bee farm. And at the current point in time we have 2 entrances. We have the one right here, and we have the one right there. So we have this space over here that's kind of unused, and I can't really see a way that we can use this properly, so I think this may just be storage. when we go in here, I'm thinking we can have a row of bees on each side, right? So have bees be right here, somewhere, yeah, some length down here. And it might make sense to make go all the way here to the end. Yeah, still, I have no idea how to make a building that would look good with that, but we'll go with that for now. So, the bees will be in chambers all the way down here. And we need an area to farm the bees as well. So, if I remember correctly, the bee chambers will only fill 2-3 blocks and maybe a block extra for hoppers. So, about this size per chamber. So we do have all of this space. And I think we will use this to create some kind of chamber to, what's it called? Farm the bees. Yeah, farm the bees. Something like this, right? I think that would make sense to do. I just had the realization that I have all of these, but they only have one bee in each. What is this? So we will need to farm them first. And I've just created this simple room. Let's see if he wants to get in here. And I think we could just simply tie him up. Then we can fill up multiple of them and make them go into beehives we can place right here. And how far? No, he's not able to go. Fantastic. And outside, right here, we'll have the beehives in there. And I'm just using a design by the mango. The comparator registers whenever the beehive, is filled up, and then it will trigger the dispenser. And as long as the dispenser is full, the honey bottle will get thrown out and get picked up by this hopper down below. And it should just simply work. So I'll collect a few more bees. The idea is this. We have bees, and we will just make them get a baby. Then we have the beehive here near them, and create a bunch of flowers right here that they can use to pollinate. And after they do that and get big, then they will go into the beehive right here. One problem we might have to deal with is that if I destroy it and there's someone in it, they might get angry at me. However, as long as I'm outside the range of the leads, it should be fine. But that means we might have to extend this room or something like that. Not sure yet. Okay, they can go a bit further. Alright, we'll just have to test and figure out. And the new bee is already inside, as you can see right there. Fantastic. Alright, we finally have one that's full. Let's take it. I got it, right? Perfect. And place it into our farm. Oh! On the positive side, we got a bottle. On the negative, I'm a moron. Twice, apparently. Ah, good luck. Okay. There we go. I'm not really sure how, but one of them is outside. How did you get there? That bee is not too intelligent. Interestingly enough, right? I'm using MiniHut to see where it's trying to pathfind. And it looks like it's trying to get to that block over there. It can't really see that it's blocked. Oh, well, it can, but it doesn't really seem to change anything. That's odd. Alright, so now most of this is in place. I just need to keep going back and farm these up a bit. I attached a few more of these lines. And yeah, now it's just a question of time. One of the things we definitely need is more bottles, since, yeah, we're not filling this up at all. And so, yeah, I need to do a lot more of AFK at the witch farm, which is alright actually, because that will give me more redstone, which I need as well. And as it turns out, having all these restraints actually helped with getting my creativity back, at least a little bit. So first of all, I replaced the oak trapdoors with acacia trapdoors, just because the orange color just kind of pops up a little bit more. It's still not ideal, but I feel like it looks better. In order to avoid repeating textures, I created this side right here, going inwards, and I feel it looks quite great. Tried to implement some brick, and it looks alright. Still needs a bit of work, but it's alright. On this side, did not really know what to do, so I think I'm gonna place some greenery right here, and I feel like it fits quite well. And on this side, I could not really figure out what to do with this last space right here. So I found this design for a medieval house by Captain Fox. I'll try to remember to put a link for this video in the description, but it fits really well, I think. Now, this might be a great opportunity to talk about some different building techniques or building tricks that you can use. So if you have a wall like this, right, completely flat and very boring to look at actually, try to find some colors that is very close to the one that you're looking at, or blocks that are very close at least. So we for example have the cracked stone bricks. The cobblestone is also rather somewhat close, and andesite. Andesite might actually fit a bit better when you're doing a bit more rough stone, but the simple thing of introducing just a little bit of variation, at least just somewhat randomly, it does just a lot for the shape, for how for how the wall is going to look. And this principle can basically be used for everything. Just like this. Place a few more of these. Again, try to do it as random as possible. And the difficult thing here is typically to find the balance. And I am definitely not perfect at this either. But just trying a little bit here. With a few different colors. And looking at this, I might actually think that some of these are a bit too far from. So I actually think these two. This one is still a bit too far, but I feel like this is one of the things that you wouldn't notice from a longer distance, right? Yeah. So that's one way. And the problem we have here also is because of the redstone, we can't really have the wall go down here. So I think instead of me doing the redstone, I'm simply just going to cover it with some leaves or stuff like that. Generally speaking, leaves just always makes things look better. The same principles is applied more or less to the rest of the build as well. So if you look at the dock we have right here, this also does have just a somewhat random pattern of campfires and spruce trapdoors. And I'm trying to continue placing some random stone and stuff like around here. Gravel is also quite a good block for this kind of build. And you can use the same principles as well for, well, wood or tree areas. We've built a couple of these already in this world. But yeah, just in general, just have a color you like, or in this case, the color is mainly green. What contrasts well with green? Well, yellow is kind of close. Red actually fits kind of well, I feel like, in this case at least. And yeah, try to just have a bunch of it and have it to be somewhat random, somewhat chaotic, but still with a pattern of some kind. Some more time has passed, and the build is coming very far along. As you can see, most of the dock is ready now. It goes all the way over here. I was considering whether or not I should make this completely straight, like have straight lines right here and a straight line right there. But I just felt like it was so boring to look at. So I had this kind of odd shape, but I feel like it looks quite nice. Then in order to make it look a bit more structurally sound, we have these pillars right here and a couple of pillars on the inside as well. One thing I did kind of by accident was that I combined these two colors, so I have both spruce fences right there and then dark oak fences there. And honestly, I really love it because it makes sense, right? The fences that are wet, they will be a darker color. And if I wasn't as lazy as I am, I would honestly consider switching the rest for this color, but I am too lazy, so I'm not gonna do that. The only real thing lacking is the roof. So the roof right here, I simply covered with few leaves and stuff, like you see right here, and it does the job. So we're missing something for this roof, and I'm honestly considering just putting more plants and stuff like that, but I feel like that would be kind of lazy, and we probably already have enough of that. So I'll have to find some inspiration for this. Immediately after the last recording, it kind of hit me that since we're producing honey in this, we should just have honey and stuff like here on the top. It could kind of look like a service bay where you like connect all the things. We can have barrels where they are being put into and stuff like that. This is where it would be nice to have maybe the armor stands mod that they have on Hermitcraft, so we could do like a scene right here. But yeah, I don't really feel like downloading that right now. In case you don't know, you could do a trick with honey, since you can't really hop on it normally. But if you go all the way to the edge here, so just hold down Control until you get to the edge, or shift, I believe is for most other people, you are able to hop. And yeah, I feel like this does the job quite nicely. The honey also quite well hides the glowstone right here. Since I have the mini hot mod on, it makes it quite easy for me to see where that light is needed. So, for example, we've hidden some glowstone underneath here and stuff like that. There's still a bit of work to do, since that this area, for example, is still extremely dark, and like in general, the inside here is really not pretty. I really didn't try to make it pretty either, but it isn't. And yeah, there's a lot of cleanup, but that's something for another episode. This episode is already getting quite long. I even expected us to do a lot more, but this is taking quite a while, so I think we'll have to call it right here. But anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.